we'll start off, and I guess we'll formally have a little bit of a
Mhm.
hi. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for taking time out of it. We're same time zone, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks for taking time out of your evening to do this. And obviously, as a prefix to all of it, thanks for being a part of the cast for On the Line. It's been fun as a project so far. Now, obviously, we're going into pushing the Patreon and having fun with that and expanding, hoping to support the show. It's obviously a fun thing to go through and do a little meet the cast, see who's who. And you are insofar playing Kaan and a handful of monsters.
Yes.
So that's awesome. And we're also playing some Streets of Rogue because in these Meet the Cast interviews, the cast gets to pick a game. And I'm curious, while we're picking our characters here and getting our appearance going, why'd you pick Streets of Rogue?
Well, it's been a long week, and I just wanted to just get some stress out. And what better way to get stress out by causing mayhem? Needless, hilarious mayhem. Anyway, that's why.
Perfectly good reason. Perfectly good reason. What do you think you're going to play?
Ooh, I don't. Well, I'm not gonna play a cannibal. Oh God.
Yeah, that is a little bit disruptive. It's probably easier if we both play cannibals to play cannibal. Same thing with like zombie in my recollection of it, right? In that if you have one person playing a zombie, one person not playing a zombie, you could be at odds.
I know what I'm gonna play.
Okay.
I'm playing the comedian.
Nice. All right, I think I'll do. I'll play a thief. Why not? Yeah, I'll get this guy some hair. All right. So we should now. Oh, we just double click. Whoa! I've accepted, and now we begin.
Indeed.
All
Very
right. So
yes.
that's awesome. So when you were brought onto the show, it was Nancy that brought you on, right?
Yep. I was actually surprised. Um One day she's like, "Hey, just so you know, I kind of tossed your name in with my friend in regard to this podcast they're working on, this fantasy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." And we all started from there, and I was like, "Oh, so on the line." I honestly thought I was gonna be like just like a sub character, like not
Yeah.
a main character. And then I finally looked at the script and I see main character, my name. It's like, oh, that's not. Wait, what?
So is this your first time playing a main character in that sense?
No, actually, this is my second. This is my second time.
Awesome.
I have would you like to know of the what I worked on, or I don't want
Please
I don't
feel
want
free to talk about your history as a voice actor. That's kind of what I'm dived into and I'm curious about here. So, yeah, what led you to, getting involved in this? What were you doing before? What are you doing right now? Absolutely.
Oh, okay. It's like I was wondering where you were at. You're like running around and things are chasing you.
Yeah, I'm just poking
Um,
around.
that's the best way to go about it. But yeah, I was doing some small projects here and there. I was doing a not TV, a web pilot for this animation called More Alaska that never took off, which is fine. And I was
Yeah,
working on a LGBTQ plus horror comedy series called The Way We Haunt Now, finishing up the second season.
gotcha. Eh,
And after that was just kind of like trying to figure out what to go for next. And then Nancy's like, "Hey, join me."
And
So
then I
you
have,
know,
a, I have a curiosity out of that. What qualifies it as an LGBTQ production? Is it like a choir where the whole cast is gay or otherwise? Is it the story? Is it both? Like, what is that in the modern world? Because I'm not entirely a part of that community, but I'm curious about the stories that are being told there.
I would say that it's the more of the subject. If the cast is of that the variety of LGBTQ plus,
Yeah,
then that's a plus too. But yeah,
sure.
most of the story, the main characters is about a girl named Eulalie and her girlfriend who kind of fall into this issue with this one house. No, Eulalie comes across a house. I start dating her, but I also have a secret where I'm like, I know what's going on. I also used to be a ghost hunter and whatnot, and the majority of the cast is also gay. We have someone who's trans, someone who is non-binary, someone who is pansexual, someone who is asexual. So it's just the whole thing. encompassing it. I hope I used that correctly. Sorry.
There's expanding terminology, and I think nobody ever is going to be able to have every single thing or use it off the top of the head. But as long as there's not malice in your heart, I think that, at the end of the day, is just as important. But that's interesting to hear those stories. Then you were a main character in the other looking Alaska, or what was it?
More Alaska, which
More
is about
Alaska.
A group who's trying to run a supernatural, actually a park, and it has some supernatural qualities. And I am playing the sarcastic manager of the group, who's like, I try to make you see reason, but I also want to know, is there money coming out of this for the whole situation?
Sure.
It was only one it was animatic that was supposed to take off, but the artist and animator had school, so that never really went anywhere.
Yeah, that's tough. I've been in projects where everyone's really, really excited, and then the reality of like full-time jobs and school get in the way. Now, we have to get this item really quick, so do you think we should beat him up? Does it cost money?
Well, we can threaten him at 54%, we can bribe him at money, or bribe him with an item, and he only wants the good stuff, so... We're gonna have to just knock him out. There you go. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, quickly. Okay, lovely. And now,
awesome.
While we run after our crimes, unless there's anything you want to do here, I'm curious, of course, do you feel intimidated a bit by approaching, like, a main character or a big character, or is that more exciting to you as a voice actor, or an actor in general?
I'd say that's a little bit of both. On the one hand, it'd be fun to just see what I could do with it, but I also know I, as the character, will have to help carry the story a lot, make sure that it gets the point across. And I was just like, oh my god, that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure.
Absolutely.
But you can't run from those type of roles forever. You can't, because it's just, if you do, then you're just gonna like leave yourself on the sideline. And that's not fair. That's not fair for me. That's not fair to the director that they know of. And so, yeah, I always want to play main characters. It's always fun. Now, if there's a time where I'm like, I would totally be better as this sub character where I feel that fits more of my personality or more of my character, then I'm all for it. I have no problem playing any part at all. I also like doing the creature voices, if you can tell.
Yeah, and that's one of those things too. There's a first cut of the first chapter before some of the editing was done in post. In the first version, we just used the gargoyle screeches as is. And you did such a great job, but everything else had been mastered and edited, so it was a little bit augmented, a little bit inhuman. And then it cuts to what is very clearly a person making monster sounds, and it was just hilarious, if I'm being honest with you. Because it comes out of nowhere, and like I was like, oh man, I like this a lot, but we have to make it scarier, and that's what we ended up doing, is like really kind of making it creepy. But those were really good bases. Doing monsters must be fun. Have you done a lot of monsters or like anything video gamey effort like that?
Alas, I have not. I'm just really good at making sounds and making noises.
Sure.
I like, because mimicry is fun. It's always been fun, and I like how, like, I can feel, this is gonna sound really weird and probably disturbing, if I can, the mouth and my tongue will start like trying to contort to how those sounds go, like, oh, so this is what it sounds like. And I was like, oh, that's so much fun, I want to do that more. Oh god, someone's trying to kill me. No.
Oh no. Oh god, I can try and help you. I don't know, maybe. Oh, have you ever tried to do like I don't know beatboxing specifically, but where people do like Vocaloids with their own mouth and like emulate a bunch of sounds? Is that something you've ever tried out?
For fun or for
either? You could, everything we do professionally usually starts as something we're doing for fun, I find.
Ah, yes, I do. I do occasionally some beatboxing just for fun when I'm bored. Am I good at it? Absolutely not. Do I enjoy it? Hell yeah. Sorry, is it okay to curse?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, you know what? Actually, I will submit this to a Christian network just to see if they'll take it. No, I'm kidding. Totally chill. Yeah, say whatever you want. Presumably it won't send you to jail. I don't want to be liable for that. Although, you know, we're in different countries, so you don't have to be afraid of the Canadian police when you're in the States.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
I
God.
found the guy. I'm gonna beat him up in an alley. This is, this is an odd interview because it's partially showing off, what lovely people are getting to work on this project, what makes them go, but because we're also playing video games, it's gonna be like, and you know what? And this really inspired me. Oh, that motherfucker! The goddamn, it's such a mix of like, if you just listen to the audio, it would be really confusing.
He
All right,
started it.
we're allowed to
Ow.
kill gangsters, and they don't count, right?
I do believe so. I got this
Okay.
one guy trying to kill me.
Okay, I'm
So.
gonna come down and. Okay, so I beat up a person and I took something.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Do you have to get out these gorillas as well?
Yep. They're all different, like, little assignments that we have to do, and sometimes they don't want us to be there, but you know what? We need to help people. And this guy's got a knife, so he's like, get out of here, and they'll start trying to kill me.
So I can go through the wall here, but that's only gonna help me so much because they can't go through the wall with me either. Hey. Yeah.
I'm trying to find a weapon, but I don't have any.
Oh, I
Which
got
is weird for me.
lucky enough to have a crowbar. Whoa.
Let me see if I can. Oh, I'm telling jokes.
Oh.
Oh no, that didn't work out.
Wow.
That's kind of normal for me.
Yeah. Have you ever done stand up? Or
No,
okay,
I have not.
I'll
A lot
follow
of
up
people say I
immediately.
should, though.
Yeah, that's like, have you thought about it? Have you practiced doing it when you're in the shower? I don't know where people do.
Hey, nice. Oh, okay.
Okay, well, I guess I don't know. I don't want to leave witnesses. That's a
Don't?
little too brutal. Oh, I can lockpick. I'm gonna lockpick.
Oh, I forgot I have a hacking tool.
Oh, it's okay. Now, obviously On the Line is very heavily based on MMOs. I figure it's worthwhile to ask, what's your opinion on MMOs overall? Have you
I love
spent a
them.
lot of time in them?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I completely cut you off beforehand.
It's okay.
I love the immersion, and I love just the different gameplays and styles there are, and also the characters and the character creation of it. Like, I played
Totally.
Guild Wars 2, I
Oh,
played
great
Final
game.
Fantasy 14, and I used to play World of Warcraft,
Sure.
unfortunately.
When did you stop playing World of Warcraft?
Oh, sorry, I'm witnessing a murder.
Oh,
Years ago, I stopped playing. I used to I played for the Horde, and I played a level 80 Goblin Archer. Hunter. God, why?
nice. Oh,
like-
is this guy trying to kill you?
No.
Oh, he's your friend. Okay, so I can go through the wall here.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna try and whack this guy and see how it goes.
Very nice.
Okay. I don't think he can get us, and I don't need anything from there, right? Yeah, okay.
Nah.
So I
Yeah,
think that was the mission, or is there anything left to do? There's one thing left to do. Alright.
We gotta go over here to this M down below.
Now, among those, Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, were any of those your first MMO?
World of Warcraft was my first MMO.
And that's counting even free things like MapleStory, RuneScape, that type of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, okay.
Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I did play RuneScape when I was like, what, 10, God, like 34, and this came out in like 2000. I was like about maybe 12, I want to say. That was like my first experience with an MMO. And it was, we all know what the graphics look like for RuneScape. You just left a lot to the imagination, but it was
Yeah.
fun nonetheless. So.
Whoa, you're getting beaten up. Don't beat up my friend.
Yay!
Alright, hey, do you need a lockpick? Perfect. Alright, so we have to rescue this person, but I'm sure there's a better way to do it than just busting right in there. How old were you when you played World of Warcraft, though?
I was 18, 19. That's
Oh,
just
okay.
starting college. So, and I had heard about it at the time where it's like, oh my god, it's an awesome game. And also the whole people are losing their lives in World of Warcraft, getting married and losing their job and da-da-da. It's like, oh. And then my friend got me into it. It's like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I like it a lot. And from there, it just kind of escalated.
Sure. Now, to me, that's a little bit like old to be playing your first MMO? Were you always a gamer? Did you find other games at 18, 19, or just MMOs?
So growing up, I would play JRPGs, rhythm
Sure.
games, action adventure, platformers. Played Sega, Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, Xbox, and the like. I didn't have a lot of experience with MMOs until until I got out of college, because my parents were always like, don't get lost in those, don't put money into those, and we can't afford a subscription, and then it's like, oh, okay. But then when I was finally out on my own, I was like, freedom. So hello.
Sure.
Are we supposed to break some?
I was just buying something from a drug dealer to get these paralysis traps. I'm thinking maybe we can use them on the cops to get this person out.
Oh, he got mad.
Oh.
Let's see. Do you have a key?
Gosh, what button is it to see the inventory?
Just
Not tab.
You're on your keyboard. I'm on a controller.
Okay, we have completely different interfaces.
We do.
That's okay. We're in here. We're just doing it.
Oh, I forgot. I have a door. I have a hacking thing.
Nice. I do have a lockpick too. If I'll just
Okay.
take me.
Let's
to the
get them out of
exit.
here.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. They're pretty mad at us.
Yep. We gotta go.
Okay.
We gotta get them to the exit. So.
The level exit's up here. Awesome. All right, and JRPGs first. I think that's where a lot of people start. Like, maybe it's just accessibility. What were you playing on when you first, like, because I actually don't know the age difference between us. I don't think it matters all that much. But if you were playing World of Warcraft when you were finishing up college, how long ago was that for you?
2009.
Okay.
I can actually tell you when I graduated. Wow, my memory isn't dead. Yay!
And what'd you go to school for?
Video game art design.
Oh, awesome.
Indeed. I was originally going to go to the Art Institute of Colorado for animation. However, things had changed, so I had to go to another college instead. And they're like, well, oh, that's a pounding on my head? Can't trust nobody. Go try to kill us for money. And they're like, well, you can come to our school. We have animation. It's like, well, we have video game art design. It's like animation plus. And I'm like, uh-huh. And are you sure that's what that is? Yeah! I was like, and I did learn a lot of stuff. Oh, Jesus! Yeah.
So it was a biblical school, is what I'm gathering.
No, it was a Prophet College. Oh, my Lord! What is happening?
We're getting a lot of stuff, is what I'm gathering. Hey, man. I have a knife. This is a gunfight. Bad setup. Oh. Oh, hi. You're a ghost.
What's up? Just try to see if you can.
I brought you back.
Yeah, thank you. Got my stuff back.
Yeah, do it. I won't take your stuff. Ah! All right, so we're mass murderers. Clearly, is our strategy.
Well, we got a bounty on our
Oh,
hands.
I stabbed a cop. It's only gonna get worse from here.
Yep, they're coming for us.
Okay.
Let me see if I can finally help out and.
I am dead too.
Here, come back, come to me.
Hi.
Live. Hi. Oh, that's not you. That is. How do I do this? Oh my God! I'm trying to help you to live, but I can't help you to live.
Oh, maybe we can only do it once a round, or.
No, I should be able to. I don't know. I'm trying to stab you. I'm sorry.
That's
Friendship.
not reviving.
It can be.
Shucks. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Oh.
Oh, Jesus Christ! We have bounties on our heads. They're trying to kill us for it.
We need to maybe aggro other people. Yeah, recklessly stabbing things didn't work out for us.
No, it did not. No, it did not.
Oh, gosh. Have you ever had a streak of a crime that you want to admit to in a public setting? Nothing is the right answer to that question.
Well, I do apologize. I was too trying not to die. Could you repeat the question, please?
No. Have you had any streaks of crime that you want to report on a public? I think we have the money to revive you.
If I tell you that, Josh, I'd have to kill you.
I know, right?
All the way from here.
that always okay. So I was in I won't get too specific with this because people are still out there and stuff. But it was when I was in Scouts. There's always these dudes, and they were like dads of the kids, and they'd always come in. They'd want to sound so tough, so they'd start talking like, "Oh, I know things. I know where some bodies are." And I'm like, You're one of the dumbest criminals if you're admitting this at like what is basically a volunteer meeting with a bunch of people. This is not what real criminals do. Real criminals don't go around bragging about how many crimes they've committed and got away with. Only like
Right.
really bad ones do. Okay, hey, I think I can revive you, but I want to try and get out of the place where the cops are.
That'd be wise.
Diagro. Oh, you know what? This one I can just kill. Okay, no, never mind. Hey, oh, what? Oh, I'm too weak. Oh. I can't.
You can. If you have money, you can revive me. If you don't, I take some of your health. Run. They will kill you.
They very likely will. Oh dear.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Where'd that come from?
That was me being dead. Oh yeah. Okay.
Aww.
Well, I apologize. That's okay. We'll give it a go. We'll reassess here. And
all good.
Bring it back, interesting things about yourself. Always the first JRPG you really connected with. Because I think talking about games is more specific, but if there is anything that you'd like to talk about specifically, we can approach that just as well.
If I had to say, Final Fantasy IX.
Why 9?
I love the character. I love the Dane. I love how he was a goofball, but on the one side, he's a goofball, but there's also something deep about him. He never hesitated to be vulnerable. And I appreciate it about the guy. I like also Zidane because he wasn't the whole, I'm so broody. Life is meaningless and pointless, or I'm just a lone wolf. I'm like, can we get away from that type of character, please?
They've done that twice in a row at that point, so that's pretty fair.
Well, luckily, a lot of different types of characters are coming back, thank God. I'm like, oh, please, God, no more of those broody, sad types. But either way, I also related to Vivi. Vivi is, well, I love Vivi. Vivi is so cute. Vivi was the right?
Black mage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
He wanted to just find where he was and who he was, and he's always misunderstood and just lonely because of it. And we've all been there. It's sad when you don't know where you come from. Ow,
absolutely.
Ow.
Plus, on a superficial level, that character brought the design of black mages ahead for Final Fantasy, and we still see that today in FF14, where we can't get the really cool mask that lets us look like classic black mages, but we can try and emulate it with a dwarven hat of casting. Grimaces at Square Enix. Sorry, it's a pet peeve of mine. I played Black Mage for a long time, and I'm like, there's so many cool outfits, but you just want to look like Vivi. You want to look like that, the little, almost like a Jawa, yellow eyes with an indiscriminate face, that's really fun. Anyways, this is a Final Fantasy IX specific question, because I'm always curious.
Yes.
There's a combat competition where you get a score based on how well you did in the audience and stuff. They rate you. How many times did you replay that the first time you played the game?
I'd have to say about. I'm not good with games like my brothers were, but I've had to do about 12 times. Same with, but I had to. Okay, you remember Final Fantasy X? Real quick, I know we said we're talking about Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy X. You know Seymour, right? Have you played? You played Final Fantasy X, right?
I haven't replayed it as an adult, but I have played it. Yes. So yeah.
So I had to fight Seymour 21 times to kill him, and as for the combat thing, 11 times. I don't think things through strategy-wise. I'm kind of the whole let's just do it and see what happens, as you clearly saw earlier when we were playing. And it took a lot. I'm not patient. I am not patient at all. That's why I can't play tactics games or RTS a lot.
Sure.
It's just I want it to happen now.
Do you find that impacts you when you're playing an MMO because it's so grind heavy?
Yeah, all the time. Because I just I play Final Fantasy 14, and everyone around me knows about the raids and the arenas and all this stuff, and I'm just cool. Okay. What do I do here? we're gonna go to a dungeon. Okay, I'm DPS. Let's just go for it. Hey, you need to be on this side when he do this kind of a move. What?
Sure.
I die instantly because I don't know what's going on. I'm a casual gamer. That's what I'm saying. I don't go into the whole too many lore about things, and I don't take the time to learn those things. I'm just like,
Do you
play the
skip dialogue when you're playing games like that? Do you just like spam through, or do you read everything that the characters have to say?
I try to read. I've been getting better as of late. I'm on Stormblood. I think I'm near the end of Stormblood for Final Fantasy 14, and the story is
Wonderful.
getting good. Yeah, for the 14, because I had with this storm. No, I'm not Shadowbringers yet. Yeah, so I'm still at the end.
Yeah. We're like
Stormblood.
very close because I'm a late joiner to 14, so as a result, like I'm only about halfway through Stormblood right now. But I do have to say, yeah, the story's been
Phenomenal,
really, really enjoyable.
right?
When it comes to like, you know, wanting to rush through things, do you ever feel like that was a challenge when you were approaching voice acting, recording takes, even for on the line? Do you want to like go on your first take? Is it a lot of work to do more, or how does that work out for you? Also, if you want a gun, take it.
I did take that gun, and I do apologize. I was like, could you please repeat the question one more time?
That's totally okay. So, you know, you had mentioned that you like to get through stuff, you want to get right to the game, sometimes you're a little bit impatient. How do you feel like that affects acting and voice acting and approaching a take?
I get very, very frustrated. I'm very critical of myself. If you ask Nancy down the road, she'll tell you that, because I'm a perfectionist in a way.
Sure.
And I know that hurts me. Like, there was a line you had in I think the second chapter, which ow, what the, such, my bad. How dare you?
It's okay.
Anyway, recruitment requests. I spent 2 hours trying to say that line, and I'm like, you know what?
Wow.
No, I kept trying to rush it, and I even did the whole like mouth thing and the moving thing, and I was like, I gotta do this. No, I can't just rush through it. It's gonna sound fine. It's gonna sound fine eventually. Just do it. I'm like, I get really frustrated when I don't do things right. I hope I answered your question correctly. That's how, because if I don't get the right take, I do a lot of takes, and even then I'm still not happy with those takes, and I get impulsively done. I'm just like, nope, it's good enough. Let it go. And I'm like, this is not what they want. You can't do this. I'm like, I need more. I hope I'm making sense.
No, you're absolutely making sense. When you first were having issues like that, like, how long would you say you've been doing acting and voice acting at this point in time?
So about 5 years now.
Okay, so you know you're year one, your first time going through it. Did you ever get discouraged in the process of like wanting to do too much, then getting obsessed about whether the perfect take was and not sending things in? Did you ever like have a situation where, ooh, I'm getting shot really bad?
Oh God!
You didn't turn in a take because of that, or did you always find a way?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, did you just die?
No, I just blew somebody up.
Oh, nice. There has been times where I actually left a project. I was working with this gentleman who did playthroughs for the blind, and ow! How dare you? There you go. And it was going great because he loved my voice and he loved my takes. But over time, I'm just like, it's not enough. It's just not good enough. I'm sorry. I do apologize to do this, but I'm not in the right headspace. I don't think I'm doing the lines the way you want me to.
Yeah.
And I think it would just be best for me to like leave your project, because I feel like I'm giving you half-ass work. And he was really sad to see me go. I was actually gonna get content with him pretty soon. Oh, you're a vampire.
Yeah, I'm a vampire.
Okay, it's cops.
Oh, I'm dead. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay,
Not
so
a
you had to
problem.
step out of that project because you felt, you know, you weren't ready to perform at the level that was kind of required for it? Was that true, or do you feel like it was just you being hard on yourself?
Imposter syndrome, and just
Yeah.
feeling like This is not what this is not what you want. Are you sure I'm the perfect person for the job you want? It's just I couldn't meet up to my own standard of, I guess, of what I would consider good. You know,
Sure.
everyone's a critic, I myself included. Oh God, no! God. Eh, eh. Do you mind? I'm answering a question. Anyway, so if I feel like I can't do something, I will just step out because I don't want to. I don't want to let people down. I don't want also to be like, I hired this person to do this, and they're proving to me that maybe they're not made for the job. And it's a lot of embarrassment. It's a lot of
Sure.
inner turmoil about that. Like I was terrified for like when working on one of your chapters. That's why I redid chapter 2. I've listened to all of it and I was thinking, this is horrible. This is I have to redo all this, which I did. And I hope you like the takes. If you want me to redo anything else, by the way, I got you.
Honestly, you're doing a phenomenal job. Even when I was listening through and I was doing the takes, and I love sharing things with my wife. So one of the things when we were listening through the first few takes, I was letting her listen as well to get her input. Because you know this as well. When you're listening to yourself a bunch, or you're listening to even people that you know, there can be this element of, oh, this sounds like X. This sounds like my buddy. This sounds like me under a voice modulator. But it's so easy to forget that somebody who doesn't know you, somebody who's just listening to this the first time, just goes, oh, this is just what this person sounds like. Or whatever it is. So having my wife give it a go was really helpful. And when she was going through, she was mentioning like, oh, some of these people you've got, like, what did you do to get them involved? And you were definitely one of the names that got it brought up, because like the lines that you were delivering, even subtle things, even especially in the first chapter, before things are as ironed out with matching the talent with what they're getting to do and giving the characters more options to speak, you had little lines where it's like there's a lot of personality in there, which is an excellent thing. But now that you're doing it more, what do you find helps you get out of the imposter syndrome a bit? Do you just go, it's good enough, and like know you've worked hard on it, trust that you did everything you could, and be at peace with that? Is there another strategy you like?
I like to re-listen to myself over and over, and I feel like if I can...
I'm just gonna eat this person.
Oh my goodness. Have fun. You earned it.
Oh, he needs to turn his back to me.
Ow.
That's okay.
Let me see.
Whoa.
Oh, but I forgot I can punch people through walls.
Now I can eat this guy because his back's to me, so that works out.
Yay! But if I just kind of slow down and re-listen to it and be like, okay, you didn't do so bad here. You actually sound really impressive. Okay, maybe you are good at this. Maybe you got this. You're made for this, and that's great. Excuse me. Hey. No. What do you mean this is so lame? You started this. There we go. There we go. And that helps. It's just like listening to yourself and like confirming, hey, I got talent. I'm not as bad as I think I am. If that makes any sense.
No,
also,
totally
meditating.
does.
Meditating helps a lot.
Okay. How do you approach meditation? Are you of a specific faith? Have you created your own approach?
So I'm the type of person who can do things repeatedly for hours.
Sure.
I'm not talking like, 2 or 3. I can listen to a song for 8 hours over and over and over.
Totally.
And so I usually just kind of put myself in a dark room, put that song on, and just let the thoughts just come to me and just breathe. You know what I mean? Like you get that mental going. Oh, we can get out of here, by the way. Whee!
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I think we should, because we're pretty low health. Hopefully we can get more stuff. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Everything I've ever understood about meditation. Like when I was really young, and it's not a big deal, I just mentioned it to explain the story. My dad died, and my mom spent a lot of time in like the New Age world as she was going out of the separation and becoming a widow and stuff like that. And as a result, we spent a lot of time around the New Age world. So I've been around Reiki and light healing and those sorts of things for a long time. And that's fascinating. And I think where I'm at now, it's really important to take what works for you and leave the rest, because 100% of any system or mindset probably isn't going to perfectly fit anyone. But I've definitely found that any type of meditation, any sort of spirituality, any sort of like symbol or mindset, way of viewing it, mana or energy or whatever. If it improves mindfulness, that's ultimately what does what it needs to do. If it gets you in a place where you're just thinking about your thoughts, where you're considering what you've done, why you've done that, it has the effect it needs to have. And it sounds like what you've found to be the case as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
It's nice. I fell through a wall and I died. Oh, come on.
Whoa, that's not mindful at all. Let me see if I can go kill someone for some health, and then I can heal you with it. There's a lot of cops over here.
Too many cops.
Okay.
Oh, there's that guy.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I'm meeting a gangster.
The doctor's like, I don't see anything. Also, we gotta move quick because there's an ooze spreading around.
Oh, okay. Let's actually do the objectives.
Yep. Oh, there it is. Whee! So.
Yeah, honestly, if someone was watching this purely for like I'm gonna check out Streets of Rogue, it'd be a horrible representation of gameplay. Or maybe a very accurate one.
Oh, there's more ooze. Oh, we
Okay.
might not be able to complete everything, so we're just gonna do the best we can.
Yeah, I'm just breaking through doors and getting in there. We gotta operate some stuff. Okay, operate. Oh, wow, there's a lot of ooze.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the buttons pressed. I think we can get out.
Let's go.
Oh, dear. So, you know what? This is kind of a big question. I think it makes a lot of sense purely because we're introducing you to you, but, well, the cast to you. Not the cast to you, the audience to you. I'm going to get it wrong 3 times, and then we can go ahead. What brought you into voice acting and acting in general? Like, are you inherently a creative person? Was there a performance that made you want to approach it? Did you just want to get rich?
Cartoons.
Cartoons.
Watching a lot of cartoons, especially Looney Tunes, and going, oh, excuse me. Ow! Did you mind? How dare you?
Okay, I'll help you murder these things. Or we'll both die. We'll see what happens. Nice. We learned.
I'm gonna hurt that. But yeah, cartoons. I've always connected with cartoons, and I love just the voices they do, like Tara Strong, Mel Blanc, Frank Welker, and that helped me shape my personality. And I always loved acting. Like, you know how you watch things and you repeat what they say?
Mm-hmm.
And I always did that with anime. I can recite everything from Tenchi Muyo. Everything from the first, like, all the lines. And then I guess that was an obsessive part of me for it. And it was a lot of fun. It's always fun to become these different characters and to see what your voice can make. Because even I'm just like, oh, I like that voice. Oh, I like that one a lot. I should keep that one in my repertoire. Like I had the had the really gruff old man. And, oh, baby, show that. I got this one from, what was that show? From PJ's grandma or somebody. Anyway, I always enjoyed these things. And I always love making people laugh. Sorry, I had to put grandma away. And that's like, I just love it. I love acting. And sadly, I didn't pursue it the way I thought I should have. I kind of did something else.
Okay.
And now that I have a chance to be like, okay, this is something we're good at. This is something we want to do. This is something you enjoy. Do it. Have fun. Oh, Jeebus, what's happening? Who's shooting at you now?
I got in the middle of some gangsters.
Oh,
well,
God.
That's a lie. There's video proof of that being a lie. I stabbed a guy, and then he hit other guys, and they all started trying to kill me.
Okay, so it's just one of those situations.
No.
Pardon me. Thank you.
Did you get into drama when you were in school?
Yes, I was a huge drama nerd, or dramaturg, when I was in high school. And that's where I actually found my group of people. I was always bullied when I was younger, and acting was just an escape of reality for me.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And I finally realized, oh, I'm not alone. There's people out there who would like me who enjoy this. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
Yes.
And my mom, I always made my mom laugh with the different voices I did. That was one of the biggest things reasons why I wanted to pursue it. And sadly, she passed away before she could see me do these things.
No.
Yeah, it's all right. Sorry for the sad.
Hey man, I got a dead dad. You got a dad mom. Maybe they're like having their own really weird interview. Like I don't really know you. When did you die? Like I don't know. It's
I know that
situation, right?
Yeah. What about you? Can I ask you, as though I am the interviewee and you are the interviewer, may I ask you a
If
question?
you want to go ahead, please.
Of course I do. So what was your life a big inspiration for On the Line?
You know what? This is a funny thing to admit. I don't want to call myself this, but I guess it's most accurate because I can sit and I can do like 8,000 words in a single sitting, and most of that's probably publishable. I have to edit a few things, but I can get pretty consistently day in, day out. I can do a large body of work just because I've been practicing for a long time. So when I was doing On the Line, I probably plotted it out and started doing the first few chapters about 6 weeks before we put the cast together. And I was just like, really what started is like, I just want to work with a group. I want to work with a bunch of creative people. And I had done 6 books before On the Line, and it was like, this is a really great experience on my own, but it's not something you can really share, especially with a book where it takes time for somebody to go through it. They have to read it on their own terms. That could take somebody days or weeks, depending on how they consume the thing. So you don't get instant feedback, and then you don't get any feedback during the process. So you kind of just get to put all this work in and drop something out. Maybe somebody's going to pick it up and understand it. Maybe they're going to get through the first chapter and never do it. So in working with a group, even if nobody ever reads or listens to the show, the cast gets to, and I get to chat about people with it, and I get to force you all to sit down and listen to something that I'm doing, and that part was really fun. I've played a lot of MMOs, but I think On the Line is closer to what I've wanted MMOs to be when I've been playing them historically, compared to not exactly what they've been. And then I think we're similar in that I'm a kind of a big anime dweeb.
Hey!
And there's so many shows that do that well, but I find, like, even if we mentioned the big obvious one that, like, is undoubtedly an inspiration for On the Line, like Sword Art Online, which I actually really like. I don't know about you.
I like the first half and the kind of the second half.
Yeah. I feel like it's season 1 is really, really good, like, when they're actually in the main game. I don't like the second act because it does that anime thing where the villain has to be, like, really creepy sexually just as well as, and it's like, I understand sometimes, but like every time he's on screen he's like, oh, I really like that you're in this cage. And you're like, oh, okay, can we stop?
Right? Asuna is a great character, and then of course they did the whole like damsel in distress, and I'm like, why would you do this? You had so much for Asuna, and then you just like, nah, we're just gonna do what we usually do. She needs help. She gotta be saved. Oh my god, really?
That's exactly it.
Too.
And that core, like, frustration is more what motivated me to do On the Line than anything. It's like, they left the game, they left all these things that are interesting, and justifiably, the plot doesn't really have any reason to keep them there. Of course they're not in the game anymore. They finished, it imploded, the guy who created it had the self-destruct button, he was caught cheating, all that stuff. But what was fun about it wasn't these people, like, walking around the streets, it was the game. I loved the fishing episode where they I think they had just gotten married. Yeah. And then they go out and they're like in the cabin, they have like the side quest with a giant fish. Like, that's really fun. And I think maybe you can weigh in on this too. That's really what I play games for. When I log into Final Fantasy XIV, like, maybe I'm just going to run some dually roulettes, maybe I'll push the story a little bit. But at the end of the day, I'm pretending to be that person. I'm exploring, I'm going through this forest, I'm getting out of myself a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the greatest joy. To miss that is, I don't know, I think it's a shame. Also, I should focus on what we're trying to do. We got destroyed. Oh, wow, you can just go through stuff because you're dead. I'm so sorry. I thought you were just, like, hanging out.
Hello? No, you're fine. But yeah, no, that's why I love, like, acting and voice acting in general, because you just get into that mindset. Hang on, I need to kill you real quick because you killed me. Come here. And that's what you get for killing me. Anyway, now that my anger has been subverted, it's just you lose yourself in that. You lose yourself in the characters. When I was young, I used to act out with cartoons and anime.
Sure.
And my brothers did that too. And for me, that was great. That was so much fun. And I thought I didn't know about voice acting at all. I just thought this was like, I thought voice acting was encompassed with all acting. But no, specifically, it's separate. I was like, oh wait, you could do that. You could actually voice things. Hot dang! So
Chess do that too. Yeah, it's a
and
pretty insane thing. Go ahead.
and I'm not very how do I put this? Well, I'm not that bad looking, but I'm terribly camera shy.
Sure.
So I'd rather hide behind the microphone than be on camera if I can. So congratulations. You got me on camera.
Hey, I'm the same way. I work in an industry where I'm on Zoom meetings like all the time, and my coworkers probably haven't seen my face in about like 2.5 years. I'm just. I'm probably the same way as well. When I was doing drama back in school, like, I love improv. I don't know about you. That was one of my favorite things to do. Because you could just get into a scene, you can have a random character assignment, you can have a random preposition, maybe a silly problem, and then instantly you get to... Oh, I blew myself up.
And me too!
Oh, yeah. Improv.
Exactly. It's a good day.
All right. Let's give it one more go with a different character. What are you thinking? I'm going to play... You want both do zombie?
I actually just sadly don't have zombie. I have assassin.
Whoa. Do I have assassin?
Do you?
I don't have assassin.
What you got?
I have slum dweller, soldier, gangster, thief, shopkeeper, hacker, doctor, scientist, gorilla, vampire. Jock.
I don't have a lot on my end.
Do you got a shapeshifter?
No.
I'll play a shapeshifter. Play whatever you'd like.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, dude, I've played about 4.5 hours of this game. I think you've played about 15, so it's surprising that I have some things that you don't have.
Huh! Hot dang. I didn't realize how many hours I put in.
See, that goes to show the type of person I am. Preparing for an interview, like, what research did I do on Jux? Like, well, I know they're a good actor. I know they're an energetic person. I know, they respond really quick. They have professionalism and everything. What am I going to look into? What have they played on Steam? Like, that was all the research I did. I have no idea what you've been in. Have you been in anything published before?
The only thing I have been in is one episode of Seminar, which is a podcast, like a long-running podcast of just these small short stories. That was my first ever, like, ever thing. But I've been, and I was in, I still don't understand why it was called this. Candy is yummy. I did this for a comedy podcast where I had to read as a mayor for a town about this person who has somehow magnified all these like candies everywhere. I'm talking about like not like the size of a car. I'm talking about biggest skyscrapers.
Okay.
And that was very weird because that didn't do anything. I'm also work with my friends in their studio called if I may say Ghost
Please.
Nose, and I do some short stories with that. That's actually where I met Nancy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we were looking to do like start making it. Are you a baby?
Sorry. The shapeshifter is like a little naked fat man. Okay,
I'm gonna just go this way. No, I'm joking. And I met Nancy there, and I was just floored by her talent. I was like, oh, wait. You guys got a real voice actor in here? Holy shit. So, and since then, ever since we became friends, I was like, wow, how long have you been doing like voice acting? It's like, oh, I've been doing it 15 years. A real professional voice. I can't call myself a professional voice actor. For God's sake, I pale in comparison. But she's been so patient and so kind, and she's actually opened up a lot of venues for me in terms of like streaming, meeting all these different types of people, meeting you, and I'm always like so thankful to her every day, and she also coaches me on some things, which thank God she's got the patience of a saint. Did I somehow manage to not answer the question but go off in a tangent? I feel like I did. I'm sorry.
You know what? I think the best interviews are the ones that just go the direction that they're naturally intended to go. Sometimes you force something. It's like, I really want you to talk about X, but I'm trying to, just explore what gets you ticking. What do you have fun doing? When obviously you're into all these fantasy approaching stuff like this, but not everybody is going to feel like that's the ideal thing to do or an ideal way to spend time. I think, my mom, for example, whenever we hang out, she's always like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you for chasing these things that you want to
Aw.
do." I think that's really cute. But to me, and maybe you can relate, it doesn't feel all that intimidating because it's just like, it would feel more intimidating to not pursue those things, if you understand. Like, I feel more disappointed in myself if I ultimately never try to get stories I enjoy out there, try and work on things that are challenging.
Hmm. See, not... Hey! Oh, my shurikens. Did I lose half of those? I'm sorry. I
Okay.
teleported weirdly somewhere else. Oh god! Ah, that's cameras. I just wanted to hit the button. Rude. So rude. Aha!
Oh.
What the? That didn't...
Almost.
Can I aim this at all? Hang on, I'm gonna kill this person real quick.
No, that makes sense.
Aha! There we go. Don't do it. Don't do it. I will murder you. Don't you dare try to steal from me. See? What did we learn? Okay. Woohoo!
I press the button.
You pressed the button. Did you get what's inside the chest?
Yeah. Oh. I'll double check, but I think, yep, it's empty.
Okay. Awesome.
We are ready to go ahead.
Onward.
Beautiful.
Thank you for dealing with my easy, distracted ways of life. I'm terribly, terribly sorry. I feel like I may have ADHD.
You know what? Like, I think it makes a lot of sense. Not that I think you have ADHD, but from everything that I understand, and like one of the first things I did, education. You mentioned you did video game animation, art design, which is really, really cool. The first, foray into post-secondary that I ever did was grief therapy and bereavement counseling and dealing with, loss effectively.
Wow.
And no, go ahead.
I did not know that.
It was okay, but it's a shame now because I've mentioned it and I forgot why I wanted to mention it.
Don't you love when that happens? I feel like I've been doing that this entire interview. You had the patience of a saint. Because I'm like, how?
Oh, no.
I tried to answer.
I can remember now. It's okay. And maybe this is even to the point. But something that I did learn through that, even though I ultimately didn't pursue it for my career, is that pretty much everyone exists somewhere on some spectrum of everything, and almost every single issue, whether it's, ADHD or autism or even fake things, like things that people think are real but aren't really, like compulsive defiance disorder or whatever it is. That's kind of something people have created in pop culture, but isn't inherently something in itself. But it doesn't matter because you look at PTSD. PTSD, people often think is, it's only soldiers and people who have had great trauma, but modern evidence suggests that, you could have somebody look at you the wrong way, and the way that the brain perceives pain and discomfort, it's no different from some great trauma. Maybe how much damage is done is different, but what actually is felt, what actually is processed is effectively the same, just on a different scale. And the brain can have a reaction to that no matter how big, no matter how small. So a lot of the times when we self-identify with something, it's not a diagnosis, but it is a pretty valid thing if we're seeing these symptoms and we're living our life and we're going, hey, these things are pretty similar, I wonder what's going on with me. So whether you have it or not, what I found, it's an interesting thing as I go on further and further in life and have conversations with doctors and therapists, and maybe you can even, understand when it comes to being a little bit obsessive with things. I can be very obsessive with things and very specific about things. And I found a lot of similarities in how I act and what somebody on the autism spectrum experiences. Now, is that a diagnosis that I'm autistic? Absolutely not. But does it mean that if something that works for somebody in that realm on that scale works for me, is that a bad tip? Is it something I shouldn't use anymore? No, absolutely not. Whatever works for you, if it's a beneficial tip or trick, that's a good thing to pursue, I feel. So, if you can take that back to ADHD, if whether or not you have it, if working with the things that people who have ADHD help you get through your day, that's still a great thing.
Oh, I gotta remember all that. Thank you. I'm sorry.
I know. So much just talking, right? What a thing.
My brain. Yes.
We'll talk a little bit and we'll think about, we can close this up and move towards the end of the interview. But at first, I want to say thanks for your time, because I know this is, it's the evening, it's a Saturday. You play MMOs, so maybe there's some grinding you could be doing. What is Juck's going to be doing after this?
Actually, gonna be taking my car out for a drive.
Yes, you got a new car, didn't you?
I did. And I feel like, honestly, that's why I haven't been doing a lot as of late in terms of voice acting, because I've been so stressed without one.
Sure.
It's been on hold a lot. 1 second.
You gotta whack these guys, I get you.
Right? There we go. Life makes sense. Okay. And I'm gonna drive, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna actually record the chapter, because your story is getting really intense, and that's all I'm gonna say. Boom.
Yeah. Right.
That means people have to see what I'm talking about. They're like, what do you mean it's getting intense? What does that mean? It's like, oh, you'll find out. You're gonna find out. It's gonna be awesome.
Without spoiling anything too much, what would you say has been? You said there was one line, but what about playing Kaan? What about On the Line has been the most exciting for you as a voice actor, or is it just as a person?
I find Kaan to be a challenge for me.
Yeah.
Because his personality is opposite of my own. I feel like Kaan is more subdued and more introverted, whereas clearly I am not. So I'm like, I always wonder, am I giving the right performance? Am I at least putting in the right emotion for him when I say these lines? Mm-hmm. And so far you're just like, nah, you're good. Keep going. This is fantastic. I'm like, okay. So I like the challenge of playing Kaan. I've never played someone like this. And Absolutely. What I like about Kaan is that he seems to be level-headed, thank God. He's not like, let's go ahead and just bust the doors open, because that would be me. So he's teaching me, oddly enough, patience in a weird way. And I really appreciate how you're writing, not Cosmo. G's character. Lily's right there.
Oh, Dez.
Yes. I appreciate Dez because as a person who has things going on, I don't know if that's been introduced yet, but I like how you're writing that character too. That's Kaan and that character are my favorite characters, by the way. I know you didn't ask that, but I decided to just let you know that outright.
That's awesome. I agree. I think there's fun things like, this is a general question, and it may well determine if you get to stay on the cast. I'm kidding. Do you like Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Heck yeah! Are you kidding me?
How do you not, right? But I think that one of my favorite things about that show, what it taught me as a writer and as a member of the audience, what I just like, is when every single character authentically gets to shine in a way that makes sense for them. There's that old adage about you wouldn't monitor a fish on how well it can climb a tree compared to a monkey or something like that. Be a pointless thing. And it's the same thing with the character. You wouldn't want a character like Toph to only ever have combat successes and just being really, really good in fights. Because when we meet Toph, she's already good at that. That's not a challenge for her. That's not growth. But to see her get better with the party, to see her grow as a person, to see her grow beyond that, learn to be a good mentor, that I find is really satisfying with the character. And everybody gets to do that in their own language. They get to shine their own way. And that's what I've tried to bring on the line. And it's going to grow continuing with each of the characters. Just that, somebody like Kaan doesn't need to shine the same way that Dez can. But the fact that they're friends and maybe that they can shine off a little bit at each other when they get to, that's a lovely thing.
I appreciate that. I like the camaraderie between the two. Also, Ilkat as well as Kaan. That's always. Oh God! Sorry, it's my bad.
No, that's okay.
My face.
We had one of the lines in the first chapter, and there's an interaction with Ilkat and Cosmo, and she gets to just yell at him. But I feel like in that moment, it's further differentiating because you have Kaan, who's kind of playing the main character role at the start of the chapter there, And usually, you know, you look at like a traditional anime, like even half of the main protagonists, like Ichigo
Mhm.
or Naruto or any of these folks that if I wrote a story about them, I'd get sued. They're doing a lot of yelling. They're doing fighting. They're doing running around. They're being really, really loud. They're rambunctious. Usually, they're the person who doesn't have all the information. And, you know, that's fine, but I feel like playing Kaan a little bit straighter, having him a little bit well measured in that sense. Lets the craziness of other people feel a little bit crazier, and you get to play a straight reaction to it, even though, undoubtedly, we're going to get to use your enthusiasm just as well.
I hope so. I wonder what's I wonder what kind of changes is gonna happen to Khan as we go on.
Yeah, a bad story has people start and finish the exact same way, right? So we don't want
Mhm.
that.
Thank you. Because that's when you were talking about Avatar, this is what one of my favorite characters is actually Zuko. I
Mm,
love the character change and the growth that he had,
absolutely.
especially his redemption arc. Because
Yes.
usually villains like that, they either make them either one dimensional or they just I don't know, they just have these weird plots. But with Zuko, you go with him through his pain, through
Hmm.
his changes, and through his just his growth. And at the end, I cried. Okay, I cried with the whole.
Absolutely.
See his uncle is like, I'm so sorry, uncle, I let you down. I didn't mean to, and just that alone, he's like, no, I'm not mad at you because you betrayed me. I'm mad because I thought you lost your way, and he
Yes.
just that alone, and ah, sorry, I love that series. It's so much fun.
No, I fully agree. Like, and even as somebody who like you know, lost a father, Iroh is. I think everybody wants some Iroh in their life. You know, I would love to just sit and have tea and have him be like, you know what? Here's some wisdom. Everything's gonna be okay. You're on this path, and that's important. That's all right. We don't always get enough of that, but those are great arcs. And I think you're gonna nail it when we get to continue to play those arcs.
I hope so. I really hope so. I'm so excited for the next chapter and everything else and all the just every. Oh God, I love your writing, by the way.
Oh,
The last time we did the last table read, I was just like,
yep.
I'm so glad I was on Push to Talk because I was just like, what is ah.
I
I
mean,
had to make sure I was pushing the buttons.
it's
So,
practice too, right? Like if you ever read my first book, which I don't recommend you do, it's not good. But
hey,
it's working through stuff. I don't unpublish it because I think it's really important to not hide the progress you had to make to get where you are. If people only ever see the latest and greatest thing you did, they think that, you know, you got there right away, or you didn't have 10 different failures before that thing happened and you were able to pull it off. I think it's really important to remember that what we came from, the hard work we had to do. In my case, the 6 books I had to publish before this one. Of varying quality, but I appreciate the comment, definitely. It's tough to fight back a compliment, you know?
Tell me about it.
I have to train myself to do that. Uh, Now, that being said, really appreciate this. I think it's been fun to chat. I really like getting to know you more, Juck, so maybe we're going to continue to do these and check into the cast as we get further through the chapters, or maybe even do a few group interviews about the plot down the road. That could be a fun time, eh?
I was gonna ask you about that because I was thinking. You've heard of the game the Red Dragon Inn, right?
I
Tabletop
think
simulator?
so.
Fantastic. Now I'm not saying we're gonna like drink on this thing. I'm just saying, we could all play that game and see how we can just screw each other over. It's such a fun game, and there are multi characters, and I know Nancy would totally embrace the characters that she would play, no matter who it is. And then everyone
That's
could
fun.
either like play it regularly, or they could be that character. It's basically you have to force you go to this inn after fighting, and you have to force each other to drink. And you got like a psychotic bunny. You have a
Sure.
demolitionist who's a goblin. You have a wizard. You have a warlock. You have all these different variables, and it's so much fun. And I think maybe we could all get together one day and do that. So,
That sounds like something we should set up. Uh,
right?
as we approach the end of this chat here, is there anything
Mhm.
that you would like to mention to the audience? Any causes that are close to your heart? Anything you'd like to put out there?
Hmm. Wow, I'm gonna
Hmm.
make myself sound terrible. As of right now, I can't think of any. I'm a monster. I know. I'm a horrible, horrible person. No! Yes, I can! Wait. No, I can't. Mm. 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 For saying sakes, I cannot. I am so sorry.
You heard it here. Jux doesn't have any causes close to her. No kidding. You're fantastic. There's so many things going on. I think it's tough to pick just one. You know,
It
like, do
is.
you want to do another video and 10 different things that are important to pay attention to? Maybe. But I think we can drop it off here and leave it where it is. I think the audience is going to continue to really enjoy you as Kaan in On the Line. We just put out the first chapter. You're a mainstay in every single chapter that we've done. I don't see that changing, so folks are going to get to see your growth. That's really excited. I'm excited, and of course, again, I appreciate taking the time to come do this interview, play some Streets of Rogue, and introduce yourself to the folks who are going to be listening to you over the coming months here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the time and patience and everything. And I am looking forward to the next interview. Hopefully, I'll be less distracted and more on point. I'm so
Let's go
sorry.
the other direction. Let's be more distracted. Let's have no idea what's going on. Let's inhale helium. But no, okay. We found the line.
Okay.
All right, Jux. I really appreciate that, and I wish you the best.
You too.